How
Hello.
is it?
Yeah, I still hear some echo, but let's try to talk and see how everyone hears us. Uh, okay. Hi, guys. Nice to see you again. Nice to see Irina. Um, Today I'm hosting her, and she kindly agreed to share her experience. And we were going to discuss a very important topic, work and adaptation in India. Irina, I would like to ask you, please introduce yourself a little bit so that our listeners can know you a little bit better.
I'm so worried today.
Me too.
I ethnic kurta and
Oh, you're prepared. Yes. Wow.
can
I
you
really appreciate it.
yeah. So at least today I can put on my makeup and dry my hair and all that stuff because we hardly go out anywhere these times.
Yes, that's true. I'm putting on makeup only during interviews, to be honest.
Yeah, at least the lipstick doesn't go wasted. Okay, so let me introduce myself. I'm Irina. I'm from a very small town in the far east of Russia, right on the border with China, where I grew up and lived until I turned 17. Then, somewhere in 2011, I met a guy on Facebook, a charming, handsome Indian prince. So we were talking on Facebook for a few months around that. And in 2012, I traveled to India, Bangalore, straight to my marriage. That's how I ended up in India.
Wow, that's amazing. So how long did you communicate to each other before you actually went to India?
So I guess it was maybe around 6 months or so. So it was like chatting, video calls, Skype calls, and all that. We have never seen each other in real life.
You're
Uh,
really risky woman, I would say. Just
I'm still that. I'm still that. I mean, it's like a lot of years passed since then, but nothing changed actually. So, yeah, I understand that that might sound crazy to some people, but that's how it happened, and yeah.
yeah. So let's go back in time, and do you still remember that day when you stepped on Indian ground? What did you feel? Were you shocked or maybe you were amused? Which feelings did you have at that time?
What did I feel? I felt home, and I felt the smell of sandalwood everywhere. That's the thing I remember. That was my first trip, I think, in 2008. That was before I actually shifted to India. So, yeah, it was home. I didn't feel like I arrived to some place unknown or anything like that.
So you went directly to Bangalore, or you? Okay.
Yeah.
So was it easy for you to adapt in India? So what was the most hardest and easiest part? What would you say that what was really difficult for you? What was shocking, or you just felt really nice and comfortable there?
Yeah, I think in the very beginning, it's like, when the levels of excitement are rocketing, you hardly notice something which isn't good.
Yes, yes, that's
So
yeah.
I kind of liked absolutely everything. People, I don't know, smells, colors, and all those romantic stuff about India. And I think we don't usually speak about easy things, right? But I think that the easiest thing was the climate because, as you know, Russian winters are very extreme and I hate cold.
Yes.
So Indian climate was the easiest thing to adapt. Bangalore has maybe a couple of months like real heat when it goes up to plus 38 or around that. So you just have to survive that. And then throughout the year, it's like, okay, it's very pleasant, maybe plus 25 and so. So that's the thing I liked the most.
Yes, I heard that actually Bangalore has the best climate out of all Indian cities. It's never too hot, and it's very pleasant indeed. Yeah, so you were lucky that you didn't end up in some North Indian city where it can be plus 50 and 0 degrees during winter. Yeah.
I don't know how people survive summer in Delhi. I cannot imagine that.
And winters, 0 degrees without heating.
Yes, that's
Be the
cold.
worst,
It
actually,
is cold.
because I have never been to India in winter, and I am really scared to go there because I can't live without sun, I can't live without warm weather, and it scares me a lot to go.
It's actually sunny. I've been to northern part of India. It was like now in December and January. So it's sunny, but it's still cold, especially in
Yeah,
the morning. You don't want to get out of your bed because that's the only warm place in the house. So
yeah, you need probably 2 blankets and woolen socks, yeah, to survive for me, for sure. Yeah, that's so you didn't really had anything like any hard experience like in adjusting.
I think it arrived like a little later, you know. I think the difficult part was that my Indian family was kind of overprotective, and they were not letting me go alone here and there.
Right.
But I think that it's more about the control rather than the actual worrying about the person or something like that. So that kind of slowed down my adaptation because I wanted to go out, I wanted to see things, meet people, like experience new things and all. So I guess that was very weird for me, and kind of, yeah, it was hard to accept that, and I didn't eventually. I did not.
So you didn't really go much alone, so you mostly stay at home, or with
Yeah,
time
I
it
mean,
became actually better and you could discover and travel much more freely.
later. It's like I just said, okay, I'm not 5 year old. I don't need any company. I'm going out alone, and just that's going to be that. This is how it's going to be.
Yeah, and I think Bangalore in general is a pretty safe city, yeah, to compare with the rest. Yeah, because in Delhi I wouldn't feel comfortable to go out alone, especially not in the night, of course, not, but even in the evening when it's dark and it's not comfortable at all. So how did you feel in Bangalore?
Yeah, I agree with you, and many people say this. I've been to like Delhi, but it's been a very short time to understand how dangerous it is. But many people say it is dangerous. In Bangalore, in my 8 years of stay, I have never experienced anything of any kind of danger to me. So it's like completely safe for me. I don't know. I heard a lot of people say that the rape rates are skyrocketing and there is all that sexual harassment and everything. But I personally never encountered anything like that.
Yeah, I'd never heard that it's something like that in the south.
I don't know,
People are much
maybe,
more civilized. That's what I feel.
yeah.
I met a lot of South Indians, and they behave in a very civilized way. They don't stare at foreigners like in the north, for example. I'm kind of surprised because when you arrive to Delhi, there are so many foreigners living there, but still they stare at you like anything. Like they never saw them, like first time experience in life. Yeah, that's really strange. And think in the
Mm.
south, it's not the case.
Yeah, and I think maybe, I don't know about Delhi much, but I think Bangalore is kind of adapted to the Western culture and foreigners because there are a lot of them. Like people are coming from like all corners of the globe, and I guess it's fine. And I think the another important thing is that maybe it's because I know how to stay safe. You know, maybe that's why nothing really happened to me.
Yeah. So what about Indian food, yeah, because South Indian food is known to be very, very spicy. And how did you adjust to it? How do you like it? Now, do you eat Indian food as well, or just stopped completely?
Well, now I'm in Russia, so I hardly get any Indian food.
Yes, I
But
understand. Still, probably you know how to cook it, so it's not a problem.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of a bit complicated to find all those spices and ingredients, so I don't cook it here. In India, I used to eat almost everything. Like I adjusted to spices, and it was fine for me. Yeah, but um, sometimes you kind of get tired that everything is spicy,
Yeah.
and you just want something very blunt.
Yes, sometimes. Yeah, I love Indian food, but when I go to India, and even if I stay 2 weeks and eat only Indian, I started missing like, especially normal breakfast. I feel like, okay, I just want some normal tasty bread with cheese, and you can't get it in India. Yeah, so it's not easy.
I, I remember I had one, I liked one small cafe in Bangalore, so I used to go there every Saturday and I was ordering, what they call it, plain cheese dosa.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Like, it doesn't have like red chili or anything, it's just dosa and cheese and some milk tea. So yeah, and then every time I was coming there, he says the usual man. I'm saying, yeah, please.
So they knew you already. Yeah, and what did I want to ask about? So I guess in Bangalore it's easier to find like common food what they are used to. I would imagine that in supermarkets you can get everything because it's a big city.
Uh, Almost, yeah, almost everything. So it kind of took me time to, roam around and see what I can purchase and where. There is no good mayonnaise, and I love mayo, and it was really hard for me. Then I learned making it myself. Then there is no sausage. I mean, the way we like it, there is no sausage like that. But these are small things. If you want to cook something you got used to at home, then you can buy the stuff and cook it.
Yeah, I can see that at least many Russian girls, they just make everything at home, cheese or bread, because they probably miss it a lot. So even sausages they make at home, so it's not a problem at all. And how were your relation with locals? Did you find really good friends among locals, or you prefer to communicate with the Russian speakers in Bangalore?
So I had a few local friends, Indians, but I think we weren't that close. Yeah, so mostly it was Russians. It's not because I don't like mingling with people or anything of that sort, but I think it just happened like that. I was going to the expat events where all the foreigners are gathering, and also I was meeting Russian girls there, and we were making friends, and then we were like catching up and discussing what problems we are facing, because we as foreigners in one place, we can understand each other better, right?
Yes,
So
yes, of course, yeah. So you didn't really meet really close friends among Indians, let's say.
um,
Girls and boys doesn't matter.
I can say not with the girls.
Really?
Yeah, actually, I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm kind of struggling with choosing the right words, but I wasn't. I always found it easier to communicate with men,
Hmm.
even in Russia, not in India only. So my like most circle was guys and not the girls.
So,
Maybe I don't know. I think it's because no offense to anybody in this meeting room and all, but I find women a bit jealous. So
yeah, it can be indeed.
yeah, so I kind of prefer communicating with the guys. It's just easier with them.
Yeah, That's true. I agree with you. It can be easier, and it can be women can be indeed pretty jealous, and it's not so easy to communicate with them. And what about maybe relatives of your husband's family? Like, I don't know if you had sisters or cousin sisters, maybe.
So it was actually a small family. It was my husband and his mother. His father passed away long before we met, and his brother and sister were living in another city. So I never got a chance to like meet them.
Okay.
Are you getting any disturbance, like background noise on my side?
I'm just hearing some I don't know, a little bit noise and maybe some echo. I don't know. Is it from my side?
Because some people are talking here and it's like disturbing me also. Just let me close the door.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, back.
Yes.
So where was I? What I
Yeah,
was
we
saying?
were talking about friends, Indian girls, and relatives of your husband. Yeah, you told already that they were far away.
Yeah. So basically, I met a couple of his friends, and yeah, we were talking well. But again, nothing really close because I don't know. Somehow I didn't feel comfortable enough. You know, maybe because I was judged all the time because I'm a foreigner and I'm not one of them. I'm not behaving like them.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, maybe it created some kind of, atmosphere where I wasn't too comfortable.
yeah, I can understand. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about your experience because you are one of a few people, I would say, who actually had a chance to work in India. And how fast did you find your first job and what did you do?
Okay, about the job. So since I arrived, in about maybe a couple of months, I found a freelancing job. I was doing translations for maybe 8 months or so. Yeah, the company was based in Mumbai and I was working from Bangalore. It was pretty good. I mean, work from home, a lot of orders were coming in, so I had my own schedule and everything.
So you didn't have to go to office. So it was only
No, I didn't have to travel, yeah. Then I was teaching Russian to Indian engineers in some local language school in Bangalore. Uh, yeah, I kind of had to travel a little bit here and there. Then I got my son, and I had a break, I think, for about until he turned 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I was staying at home and all. Then once he turned 3, I got a job offer from a small German IT company with head office in Germany. It was a small company of, I think, around 16 people or so. And that was my first long-term employment.
Okay, so you
So
worked from office.
yes, I was working in the office. And I joined as a Russian language support for a website. It was quite a small job. I mean, there was not much things to do. And I started taking up assignments from management, like all sort of tasks, anything. So in about maybe 1.5 years, I got promoted. And I've become everything. I was a team lead, I was HR, I was secretary, I was receptionist, I was project manager. I think it's the nature of working in a small company. You tend to do a lot of different things. So the interesting thing was when I joined, they were all men in the company.
So you were the only woman there.
I was the only girl.
Okay, so were there any other foreigners except you, or?
Yeah, we had two foreigners. It was me, and then it was a guy from Ivory Coast, and one was from Sudan.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Interesting.
Inter international environment.
Yeah.
So was it comfortable for you to work with them?
Uh,
Have you ever had to prove your professionalism as a woman to men because you were the only one girl there?
yeah, I understand what you mean. So, to be honest, it was heaven and earth. So it's not like, I didn't have to prove myself professionally as a woman because, uh, first of all, I enjoy being a woman in a man's world, and India is the men's world, and it was 100% male environment in the office. But it's not only because of all the attention and care you're getting. So, which was there. The attention was like, there was a lot of attention and care, but it never crossed any decent limits. So it was very decent and all. But the thing why I enjoyed it is because I think, to my subjective observation, men are, it's easy to work with men for me because they are busy with their own thing and they don't care about anything else. Like, they come to office, they do their job, and they go home.
Yeah.
And that's about it. So this is what I really liked. But then two women joined and it changed.
I can imagine. Then they started gossiping about everyone, yeah. Typical women, yeah.
Yeah, so why it changed? Because, as I mentioned already, women are jealous. And by the time they joined, maybe a couple or 3 months after that, I got promoted. And then it started. Hey, Irina got promoted because boss likes her. Hey, Irina got a raise because boss likes her. These kind of things,
Yeah.
And which really hurt me because I believe that I was working hard and I deserved that promotion. And I'm okay if men think that I, as professional and as a woman, cannot do something what they can. But it really hurts me when people of my own tribe stab me in the back with things like that, and those were women I liked and respected and trusted, and it really hurt me when they thought and they expressed it.
Were there local women or there were foreigners as well?
Yeah, they were local women.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's actually sad when women behave this way. Yeah, they immediately start getting jealous and they just think, oh yeah, the boss will have something special, some
Yeah.
special feelings for her. Yeah, that's why, yeah, she got promoted. Yeah, I know what you mean. And your boss, was he Indian or was he a German guy? You said you worked in German company.
The CEO was German, but the managing director was from Kashmir, which I don't know. Many people don't consider to be Indians. I don't know, is he Indian or not? He was from Kashmir.
So was it easy for you to work with Indian director?
Yes. So back to your question about proving myself as a professional. So I don't know. I feel like I satisfied my ambitions, and I never felt an urge to prove myself. So I never had any issues with that. Maybe because I'm convincing enough. Because people believed in me, I don't know, but yeah, I never faced anything like that. And the boss was a very intelligent and sensible person, and I think that the environment in the team and in the company is formed by those kind of intelligent and sensible people, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's if the managing director, if the boss is able to create that environment, I don't know, set the rules, set the boundaries, and make people to respect them, then it's quite comfortable place to work.
Yeah, I think it's very important that your director should be at least intelligent enough to handle all the situations, because people are different. Not everyone can be director of the company, of course, yeah. So how long did you work there? So how many years?
So I stayed with that company for 3 years, and then I got a job offer from another company.
So may
So
I ask you, sorry, how did you find this job? Did you get an offer from someone, or were you searching yourself on the internet, maybe
yeah,
on websites?
I was searching myself. I do that all the time, actually. I mean, once in a couple of months, I browse the net and I send out the applications, even now. Yeah, so that's how I found it. It was maybe on Indeed or some Naukri.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I applied and I was invited for an interview, and then I was shortlisted, and then I got a job offer.
Okay, because I can see that not so many, at least I'm talking about Russian girls, are working in India. What do you think? What is the reason behind that? Is it so difficult to find job, or maybe their professions are not fit?
Well, if we speak about the Russian language in particular, then that's quite a narrow niche. It's quite difficult to find a job as a Russian language professional. That's where my entire career lies. So I don't know, maybe if you get 5 vacancies in Bangalore in 2-3 months, then that's a lot.
Yeah,
And you
but
kind of
if you speak enough English, if you know about English, so is it also difficult to find?
I can say that I think, yeah, speaking good English is important.
Yeah, I'm not talking about local languages, because I'm sure not so many girls can speak, okay, what, Canada or Telugu or whatever.
Yeah, I don't speak Hindi, I don't speak Kannada. I can understand, but I don't speak. And no one ever asked me about that. Do you speak
So you
Hindi?
never needed any local language for your job?
No.
No. And which profession would you say are most popular and it's easy to find a job?
It's easy to find.
Of course, IT sector, yeah, I can imagine. That
IT, yeah, IT, they have openings. Yeah, I mean, I never thought of that actually, because I was always looking in my own direction, and I know that for me,
yes.
it's quite difficult to get a job.
But I saw that a lot of, quite a few Russian girls, they were actually teaching Russian in India, and they were telling me that it's quite popular now. And a lot of
Yeah.
Indians really wish to learn Russian. I don't know why, what are the main reasons? Okay, some need it for business. Some guys are in love with Russian girls. Yeah, they want to impress them. Okay, let's learn Russian. But what do you think? Is it really so popular nowadays? So you can easily find a few students whom you can teach Russian?
You can, and I was getting a lot of inquiries, but because I was employed full time, I just didn't have time to take any students. But then again, I think 50% of them are just, their only interest is like talk to you, sit with you, and then eventually invite you for coffee.
So it's not a real interest in the language, it's more like, yeah.
It's not Russian. They don't want to know anything about it.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I heard that a few Russian girls I know, they're actually teaching a few students, or just mostly someone who is going to come to Russia for business, for example, and they want to communicate, because in Russia not so many people speak English, so you have to survive somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think if you treat it seriously, like the main source of your income, then you can make pretty good money.
Yeah, I don't know how well they pay for that, because knowing Indians, yeah, I will tell about my experience later with them. Yeah, first I would love to hear. You worked in this company, you said 3 years.
Sorry?
You worked in this company for 3 years, yeah?
Yes, I worked in this company for 3 years and then I shifted to another.
So how was your experience in the other company, and why did you decide to change your job if it was perfectly fine, you were very happy?
Yeah, it was a very good company. It was a very stable company. Their policy was that they never fire employees unless you did something unacceptable. They never fire employees, and that's really great because, you know, sometimes they fire people just like that.
Yeah.
So it was very stable, but I felt that um, that there was no any further opportunity for me to grow and to learn. So I started getting bored and I decided to try something different.
You wanted to go for new adventures.
So
Yeah.
yeah, then I shifted to another company. It was an American company and it was pretty big. And I think about 85% of employees were Indians and maybe around 15 were foreigners or around that. And again, it was, I think I was just lucky. I don't know, but it was an amazing team. I still miss them and I love them all. And it was an amazing company and great environment. And I totally enjoyed it. I'm very sad that I had to terminate that.
But if you would get a chance to go back to India and work there, would you go?
I would,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it was also a pretty nice experience for you in that bigger company. And your boss, again, it was American or Indian? Because I think it makes a difference. I have a feeling that it makes a big difference.
So I think the people who we were directly reporting to were local people. They were Indians, but again, they were very like people in their senses, you know. So very I forgot the word. What's that word? I wanted to say something and I forgot it. I mean, anyway, you understood me.
Yes.
So people who you feel comfortable to work with, and yeah, there was nothing like any kind of a strict subordination, and you call him sir and anything like
That's
that.
what I wanted to ask. Yeah, this.
Yeah, no, it was very casual communication.
Yeah, it's important, I think, because I know how it is in India, that boss is everything, yeah, and all the employees have to worship him. And I never liked it. I couldn't understand that.
How was it for you? You mentioned that you worked in an Indian company.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, because I tell my story. Did you ever have to work extra hours? For example, if your working day was from 8 to 6 and they ask you, okay, you have to stay longer. Did it ever happen?
No, that was never the case. More than that, since I always needed some flexibility with, you know, my schedule, and they always allowed that. Like if I urgently needed a leave, or if I urgently needed to leave the office earlier than usual, or anything like that, or come later than usual, then they kind of, I mean, maybe because I had the real reasons, genuine reasons, right?
Yeah,
So,
because you had a little child, so he was going to crash, or when you were working, I mean.
He was going to a daycare and school, but then again, you know, there are holidays when school isn't working or he's sick or something like that. So, yeah, the management was always fine with it. I never faced any kind of troubles, which I'm very grateful because I know for some parents, it can be difficult to manage.
Yes, of course. No, because I also heard that Indians work on Saturdays. A lot of Indian companies work on Saturdays, so there is only one holiday, actually, Sunday. And sometimes they work until 9 o'clock in the evening, and they can't actually leave earlier. I don't know if it's everywhere like this in all companies, but that's what I heard from my friends, at least, that they have to work a lot.
Okay.
So was it the case for other employees, or they were also flexible like you?
Yeah, I mean, there was a standard 8 hours working day, and nobody ever dared you to hold any longer in the office. You finished your 8 hours, you're free to go.
Yeah,
There was no problem.
Because that's what I actually like. Yeah, that they can't force you to stay extra hours, and especially if you have to stay, yeah, sometimes, but they will pay for it. Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Maybe because those were like not Indian companies, and they had different standards. Maybe that was the reason.
So you never worked in a real Indian company? But
in a real
yes,
company,
yes,
no.
Only Indians, yeah. Yeah, because I had totally different experience, and I am listening to you, and I'm kind of surprised how smooth it went for you.
Yeah, actually, it was very smooth. I agree with you. Again, I think maybe I was lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, you were very professional. That's why people appreciate it. Yeah. Why only lucky? Yeah, I think if a person is professional, people, and especially they can see it and they care about employees like this. They see it, and I'm sure you were hardworking. That's more important, and you were willing to learn probably new things. You probably learned a lot during these years because because it wasn't something what you studied. You were doing totally different job, or did you?
Yeah.
Did you do it before? Did you have experience in the same?
No, I was just kind of doing it from scratch. By education, I mean, I'm holding a master's degree in international relations. That is something like you can work in, I don't know, consulates, embassies, and stuff like that, which I never got a chance to work in. And yeah, and this was completely different. I mean, HR, I never had any idea about that. Like, what's that? What do you do with this? And yeah, I was managing a lot of companies' operations, and I had to learn them. Yeah, so it was very challenging and very interesting.
But did someone help you in the beginning, or you have to do everything by yourself?
No, there was help, of course. People taught me how to do things, and all something I had to learn on my own. And yes, I did get help.
Yeah, because that's important, especially if it's something new and you never worked in this sector. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like they threw me like a kitten in the lake and said, "Ah, you figure it out yourself."
No, that's I don't think it would happen. Yeah, and I heard that it's kind of comfortable. I don't know how it is with Americans, but with Germans, I heard from my husband at least that it's very pleasant to work with them. That they are very structured people.
They are very structured.
Yeah. So he preferred to work with them than with the Dutch or with French or other nationalities.
Yeah, it was never messy, in any way. So, as you said, structured is the word actually describes well. So, but there was another thing, like, which I didn't actually like, is that when you need to like stand from your desk and take a quick call, let's say 3-5 minutes, you need to log out, and then you need to log in, and like every minute counts. So this was very annoying. I was like, come on, people, 5 minutes a day won't change much.
Yes, not everyone can actually, not everyone will like it, I think. But yeah, people who like structure, who like discipline, I think to work with Germans is the best, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, in this sense, they were very disciplined and strict. Like, you cannot wander around the office doing nothing. that won't happen.
Yeah, I think it was totally different experience in American company, or it was the same.
It was a little bit more relaxed. Yeah, it wasn't that strict. But again, there is always somebody watching you, like, what you're doing, where you are, and checking on you and all.
And
Yeah,
to your
I
boss,
think
yeah, she was not working.
I think that when you know that you do your work and like you put your 100%, you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, yeah.
if you are honest towards your responsibilities and towards your job, then it's fine to take 5 minutes break, no problem.
Yeah, and so in this company you worked how long? In the American one? So you worked there
Yeah.
until you left India, or?
So what happened is I was working, I think it was my 8 months or so, and then I had to surrender my OCI, my permanent residence permit, and I had to travel to Russia to get an employment visa. So I did, and that was February, and then the COVID hit the world, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You couldn't go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But would they accept you, for example, again when the situation will improve and become better?
So I was actually working remotely for another 6 months from Russia, waiting for the situation with the COVID to change, hoping that they will open the borders and all. And they were waiting for me. But then there was some changes in the company, and the top management decided to remove the entire department. So they basically fired everybody. I mean, not like everybody, but everybody in that department, our team who was doing the job. So yeah, there is nowhere to come back as of now.
Yeah, it's a really difficult situation, I think, for everyone, because so many people lost their jobs, yeah, all over the world. So hopefully, and you know how it is in India now, it's pretty scary. I don't know how it's in the south, maybe, but I don't think it's much better than in the north. So hopefully, but you really consider a chance to go back if you find a good offer in India, or you would prefer any other country except India?
I can consider other countries. It's not like I'm only focused on India, but if a good offer comes from India, then I would accept it.
So, and it doesn't matter which city, or you would prefer to stay in Bangalore only?
I would prefer Bangalore, yes, because it's safe, because the climate is good, because there are people I know, because I know the city well, and
yeah. You live there 8 years, yeah, it would be easier for you to adjust again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that there are a lot of jobs like in Chennai or Hyderabad, but I think it would be difficult. It would be difficult from the climate point of view. But of course, if you like hot climate, it would be perfectly fine. And maybe I could share a little bit my experience, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I'm curious to know. Tell me about it.
Because it was totally different than what you tell me just now. I'm very happy to hear that it can be different, because it was the only company I worked, and it was a very big pharmaceutical company, very famous one in India at least. And there was a smaller branch in Moscow where I used to work, I think, for 4 or 5 years before I got married and moved to Belgium. So when I started, I didn't have any idea how it is to work with Indians. Okay, I knew Indian culture pretty well, but I didn't know working Indian culture. So our boss was, Indian, who finished his degrees in Russia. So all of them were doctors, and it was pharmaceutical company. And our main boss was a Gujarati, and it says a lot. I will explain why. That's why I have some. Okay, I got my opinion about these people. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Of course, not everyone is the same. And when I joined, I was very young, not experienced at all. I just finished my university, so but I was really willing to learn a lot, and I wanted to start working, hard working, yeah. And then I joined. And what I saw, okay, I didn't like the system that everyone has to worship your boss, so like I did think else, yeah, you can't be in an equal relationship. And I didn't like it. Okay, with our boss in Moscow, I still call him by name, so he didn't mind it. It was pretty normal. But when our boss from India arrived, at that moment you have to call only sir, sir, nothing else is allowed. And yeah, you really need to show a lot of respect. And even my Russian boss, he actually showed him so much respect, like maybe they were actually the same age, but still. And this I didn't really like. I prefer equal relationship between colleagues and bosses, and they're all equal. And it is like this everywhere. I mean, everywhere in Europe. I think only in Eastern world it is this way. Not only in India, but probably in China and I don't know, in all these countries. So it was in the beginning it was kind of okay, but then one more girl joined, so we were the youngest one, I think, in the team, and we were not married at that time. And then we started receiving a lot of attention from all Indian colleagues. So there were like young boys, and even there were quite a few married men, okay, married to Indian women. And they were all, of course, studied in Russia. They all spoke perfect Russian. And to be honest, I was actually shocked. I didn't expect so much attention, and I had to take care of the reports from different representatives. They were located in different cities, and some of them were also Indian. And it was like I was calling them for work to ask something, and they were just started telling me something like, "Oh, you are so nice. Can you come to the city? let's meet." And I was kind of, come on, we are working on what are we doing? And I didn't really expect that. And you know that in Russia, we are famous that people drink, yeah. And if you have to sign any contract, you have to drink. So the moment our Indian colleagues get drunk, yeah, if they drink even a little bit, if it was any also celebration of New Year or any other festival, they get drunk and they couldn't control themselves at all. They were just, they could just come and hug you or something, and it was so shocking for me. That's why I tried to avoid all these parties. Whenever there was some party, I knew that they will get drunk and they couldn't control themselves, so I would just escape. So it was really surprising for me that like this. And also, I asked you about working hours. It was totally different for me. So we have to work also, I think, probably 8 hours as well. It was something from 9:30 until 6. But around 5:30 in the evening, our boss always called us and say, "Okay, let's sit together and discuss something. Or you have to do this, you have to finish this." I say, "Oh, come on. Where were you before? Why should I do it in the evening?" And actually, they never pay the extra for, and sometimes I have to be at work until 7, 8 o'clock in the evening instead of 6. But they actually paid peanuts, and they were complaining that, "Oh, our boss in India, he really thought that why should I increase your salary if you can survive perfectly fine with this money in India, then you can survive with the same money in Russia. Why should I increase it?" And of course, the life standard in Moscow, you know how expensive is the city. It was really peanuts. You couldn't really survive, and they wouldn't really like to increase your salary even if you work hard enough. It doesn't matter. And all our techniques, if you could see how old were the computers we have to work. I spoiled my eyes completely there. And if you talk to a director and ask him, "Okay, can you please replace the computer at least something better, because I can't even, it was loading for hours and hours." I said, it's not good to work like this. our boss, he didn't really mind it because he wasn't good, but he had to ask the Indian one. The Indian one never agreed to do anything like this. He didn't want to change anything. He said, okay, the moment it breaks, we will change it. Yeah, why to replace it now? So it was really not a pleasant experience for me. Okay, I learned a lot there because it was my first job, but I expected at least better treatment because I could see that they treat Russians like, let's say, I'm not afraid to call like slaves because we were working a lot, really, very hard, and our Indian colleagues, they didn't work so hard at all. They could just simply sit all day long on internet. And if I compare their salary per month and our salary per month, it's like 3 times higher. Yeah, but they were not doing so much. They just could talk all day long on the phone or just play some games on the computer. So it was like perfect job for them. And of course, I don't know how it is in India. I would imagine that it's pretty similar, especially in Indian companies. You can't get into the company without recommendation. If someone recommends you, yeah, you can't start working. That's what's happening in my company. And they would never accept anyone they don't know. So they were mainly there was my boss, then his brother was working there, and also all his friends were working there. So they would not accept anyone they don't know. And there was not a pleasant experience to work. There were one more Russian woman, actually quite young girl, who really liked to gossip about everything with the director. She would just go there and say, oh, she's not really working hard enough. And then the boss will call you and say, oh, what are you doing? I just heard that you're not working hard enough. It wasn't only about me, it was just about other people as well. She just made up some stories, and she was kind of not a pleasant type at all. So no one liked her, but she was actually why she had a lot of power, because she was a lover of my boss' friend. Best friend, yeah. So that's why she was like a queen there. She could talk whatever she wants, yeah. And it's like, it wasn't a nice experience at all that someone is just gossiping all the time. But then the moment she left the office, and I think she promoted to a higher position in the same company, we were so happy that finally she is gone, yeah, because it was really difficult for me to tolerate this type of behavior, so I couldn't tell her anything. So me and my friend, yeah, okay, there were some, of course, some nice moments also to remember, but in general, if you ask me, would I like to work in an Indian company again, I would say no, I didn't feel really nice and comfortable there. Maybe it's different abroad because there are a lot of Indian companies abroad. I would imagine that they would allow themselves to behave the same way like they do in Russia, but somehow in Russia I heard pretty bad stories, not only in my company, but even worse stories in other Indian companies. That, for example, if you are sick, you can't even get a leave. Yeah, they will just kick you out. Okay. Actually, in my company, it was also pretty strict. If you get sick, our boss would never happy. Yeah, he would just ask, okay, come back as soon as you can, even if you are not feeling good. It doesn't really matter. You have to work. Yeah, and also they're very, I don't know, at least our boss was like this. They're very moody people. If he was in a bad mood, if he come to work in the morning, you could see it immediately that he's in the bad mood. He would just start shouting without a reason, and then he would just call you to his cabinet and ask, oh, and you could see that he's just, I don't know, just not in a good mood at all, and you can't really talk to him. If just ask you some questions. What did you do yesterday? Did you go? Did you ask for this report, for that? It was very, really, I don't like people like this. Even if you have some problems, you shouldn't show your mood to your employees, to your colleagues, because you should control yourself, but it wasn't the case, unfortunately.
I agree.
Yeah. So as you can see, my experience working in a, okay, there were Russian colleagues, but mainly they were Indians, yeah. So it wasn't really pleasant, I would say. That's why, yeah, sorry.
So you wouldn't give it another try?
I don't know, maybe here, maybe in Europe it would be better, but I will always remember my experience in Moscow, so I don't know how it is. That's I heard also from other Russian girls who were working in India, but I think they worked in Indian companies. They had something pretty similar. They were saying that their colleagues like to gossip. It was not easy at all, and they had to work over hours and like to stay sometimes until very late in the evening, and no one cared to pay extra. So I think maybe it's the case for many Indian companies like this in India as well. I don't know how if they try to, if like, for example, married Indian men can allow themselves to flirt with unmarried Indian women. That I would imagine that it wouldn't be the same case like it happened in Russia.
Can you say it again? If married Indian man would allow himself to flirt with a woman?
Yes, like it happened, yeah. And
yeah, that's everywhere.
No, it was really insane. Sometimes they could simply call me and my mother pick up the phone and, okay, who is talking? And then they would say, I'm Laura's friend. And then I will figure out that it's not a friend. It's actually someone from my company calling me because, of course, they had all the numbers. And for me, it was something shocking. I was not used to it. I don't know how it is. Maybe it's pretty normal. Maybe in Russian, if it would be a Russian director, it would be the same. But for me, it was really strange.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever worked in a Russian company?
No, never. It was just my first job, yeah, and first experience with Indians. And I was actually very excited to work in Indian company because, you know, I really liked Indian culture. I thought, oh, wow, it would be interesting experience. But what I saw, this extra attention, I didn't like it at all. And you always have to show them the border, yeah, so they shouldn't cross this limits, yeah, because otherwise, yeah, you know, they would carry on.
That's stressful, yeah, that I agree.
Yeah, and at that time, maybe if I would be a married woman, yeah, they would show more respect, but they could see that I'm just a young girl who just joined the company and they could just do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see some comment. Did you see something before? Because I just saw some comment. Yes, the boss culture was very prominent earlier in Indian workplace, but now it's reduced quite a bit. Yeah, nice to hear that actually. I thought it's still the same in India.
Hey, Shana is saying regarding overtime work without payment, absolutely agree.
Yeah, who said that? Sorry, I just try to scroll.
Shana.
Because I didn't see more.
Yeah.
Is it the last one or you're just scrolling up?
It's the last one, yeah.
Last one, because I'm just doing
something. Never met flirting men at office. Really?
Even my boss, who was 14 years older than me, tells me to call him by his name and not say. Yes. You are lucky, I guess. I think it's not the case. I'm working in Poland and we need to cooperate Muslims and it looks different. I think I missed so many. Yes, it's common to work extra hours. Yeah, I noticed it already. Regarding overtime work without payment, I agree. Yeah, so I was not the only one who experienced it. Familiar questions. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's not fair actually because they have to pay at least something, and they were always they never pay in time. That's one thing, because we have to get our salary by the end of the month, and there were always delays, always, and there was some. They would find some reasons why can't they pay, or our boss didn't send us money yet from India. You have to wait, this and that, and they paid already so little, and we have to wait like sometimes 1.5, 2 months, and it wasn't nice. So was it the same for you, or it was always in time you received the salary?
Always strictly in the same date every month. There were no delays.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was really. It made me so angry sometimes. I just wanted, oh, I'm gonna leave them. But then luckily, okay, I didn't stay for so long. They're afraid. Oh, sorry. They're afraid to be taken or totally maintain the relation both and people who are working under boss.
One moment.
Try just.
They are afraid to be casual, totally maintain the relations, boss and people who are working on the boss.
So what do you mean by casual?
You mean the between employees and the boss? Yeah, I think that's what Shana means, that they cannot be casual.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it was an interesting experience to remember. Yeah, totally different for you and for me. But okay, I don't regret that I really worked there, because I could still show them that it will not work with me. Yeah, even if I'm not married at that time, they still have to show some respect, because probably maybe they think that Western women are just an easy target. Yeah, but not always. Yeah, you have really show them.
Yeah, I think if you know how to set boundaries, then it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, because even if you try your best, still they somehow still try to flirt, and I was like, come on, guys. Yeah, I like Indian culture, but this type of things I don't like, and I have to be really strict. And of course, although we have Indian boss, but he himself found very difficult to work with Indians, you know. He would prefer Russian clients than Indian ones, because Indian, even if they order some medicine from our company, they would never pay in time. Again, the same problem. That's why he said, no, I don't want any Indian clients anymore, because they are not honest. They promise you to pay, okay, by the end of the month, but then they will just make an excuses. Okay, I can't pay. Even if it's $100, they will still do that. It's not. I'm not talking about thousands of dollars or a lot of money. No, not at all. So that was, I think, for our director, it was difficult as well to work with Indians. Maybe that's why I think later on he opened his own company, where he was the boss, yeah, not to work under any Indian boss in India. So I think maybe it was the reason, because it wasn't easy for him. He wasn't a greedy person like our main boss, and maybe he would just pay people normally, but he couldn't change himself anything. He depends on him. So that was the problem.
Yeah, I can relate to that. When I was freelancing, and I always, like, I used to ask for a prepayment, the advance, because there was a case for me when I did the job and I didn't get paid, and they just disappeared. So
Wow.
after that, I was like saying, no, you pay me 100% advance, then you get the job done. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything.
And you can't do anything. You can find them probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an endless, thing, because
And
it's near to.
Did you face this many times, or it was just one-time experience?
It was just once, and then I said I'm not doing anything unless they pay me in advance. So
Yeah,
after that was the way of working for me. I was kind of it was the condition.
yeah, I can understand. No, that's right actually, because you do your job, you should get money. Yeah. Yeah, but okay, they paid us eventually, but it could take time. Yeah, and of course, if you earn already very little and you have to wait much longer, yeah, it wasn't pleasant indeed. That's why
Exactly.
I would prefer to work with Europeans. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see comments still. I can see them still.
No, for me it's gone.
There was I will just read for you. I mean to say there is still casteism kind of relationship in office here. Just a second. Oops. They don't treat people evenly. Even for coffee break, managers go only with managers.
That's
Yeah, would you agree with that?
yeah. I noticed that. That's true. That's the reality.
Yeah, that's what I never like. That I prefer that everyone is equal. Even if you are a boss, you should show your status so much. And all this calling your boss as sir and not by name is something. I think my husband never worked in India. When I'm telling him all these things, he's kind of surprised. Yeah, but he knows. Yeah, that it is the case. I was telling him many times, you won't be able to work in India. It's not for you. No, maybe an international company like you work, yeah, it's totally different. But if it's an Indian company, then yes, your son wants an attention.
Sorry. После завтра. После послезавтра. He is asking me when is the weekend. He's
Ah,
tired of going to school.
he's already missing weekend. Yeah, the week just started. Yeah, yeah. So this was my experience. Yeah, bad or good, but okay. I'm grateful that I had this experience in my life, yeah, because we always learn something. We learn how to
Yeah,
behave, yeah. And as a young girl, I was very young girl at that time. So of course, I had to be strict. It wasn't very easy for me, but otherwise, I don't know. They would really cross. They could easily cross the limits if you allow them, but I think you have to be strict always. It doesn't matter
I,
which way you work.
I was thinking about this and what you told me. I think that it's maybe because it was Russia and it's not that strict with these things as well. Maybe, as you said, it was somewhere in Europe or I don't know, United States, then it would be a different matter.
Yeah, I think probably they would kick them out if, for example, employee will say something, okay, that my boss is treating me bad or try to flirt with me. Because in Russia, it's not an issue. You probably heard a lot of stories that Russian bosses behave the same way. And many women, especially secretaries who work as secretaries, they have to leave. That's what I heard many times. Probably a Russian law is not good enough to protect employees. Yeah, and that's a sad thing. That's why these things happen.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think somebody would entertain this case. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason I think, because Russian employees are not very protected, unfortunately. Probably in India, I don't know. Could it happen in India? What do you think? Did you ever experience something? Okay, you were married woman, yeah, at that time, so probably they didn't try. They were scared, yeah. But probably
Not
there were some unmarried girls in your team. I don't know. Didn't they experience the same?
not everybody knew I was married, so
Wow.
yeah. I mean, yeah, there were people who kind of showed attention and all, but it was a very careful move, you know, so it was, yeah, not something like very straightforward or something like that. They were very careful.
Yes. No, there should be some respect, of course. Just because with us, especially me and my friend, yeah, we were both very young, yeah, so we were not ready for that, like, especially even from our senior colleagues. There were some senior Indian colleagues who were simply just, and we knew that they are married, their wives are there in Russia, but they're still there. So I'm glad to see that some people experience the same. So I wasn't the only one in this shoe, in this boat, yeah. So maybe it's all depending on the country. I have a feeling that it's all depending on the country, that it's not the same. Maybe it's not even the same in India, and I don't know how secure are employees there. Do you know something about it?
Yeah, we kind of had meetings in the previous company. I don't know how I don't remember how they called them, meetings or something else. But they were giving us an information about sexual harassment in Indian offices, and I was shocked to know that the cases were reaching up to 85%. Like 85% of women are sexually harassed in the offices on a daily basis. I was completely shocked with that information. I didn't know that because I personally did not experience anything like that. I mean, nobody ever harassed me in any kind of a way. You know, it was a very respectful atmosphere, and yeah.
Yeah, but maybe again, because you were working in an international company, it's also can be the reason.
Maybe yes.
Yeah, so you were lucky indeed, I would say. Maybe you would have totally different experience, yeah, if it would be an Indian company. Of course, I don't know if someone else worked in Indian company out of foreigner girls, because if I'm talking about Russian girls, not so many actually work in India. But maybe I could see someone wrote a comment. I don't know where was this woman from. Sounded like maybe our ex-republic or something. Maybe the same situation there.
It's Shana. I know her, and yeah, she's in my contact list, and she is in Chennai.
Oh, okay. So she's working in India actually.
Yeah.
An Indian company.
Yes. So she was actually right in the correct comments. I was reading that, and everywhere she is right.
Yeah, then I understand. So we have similar experience with her. So she actually proved the point. Yeah. So then it's the same in India as well. So it doesn't depend which country it is. You can face the same problem in India. Yeah. So it explained me a lot. Yeah. Because I was hoping that in India they don't dare to behave in the same way, but unfortunately, maybe with foreigners, with Indian women, maybe they try to keep distance because they will not allow that. Although not all. There can be different Indian women as well, yeah. So you can generalize, yeah, in this, yes. Yeah, so I hope, guys, you could hear us and you could understand what we are talking, because it was very disappointing. I don't know, I'm sorry if it was from my side, because I just, yeah, I think it's, yeah, I was checking the internet connection, it was okay. So you hope you enjoy our conversation. If you have any questions to Irina or to me, because we just, if there was something, I just,
I think there are 2 people left.
Yeah, now I see, because I see only who joined the conversation, yeah, but
yeah,
listen, guys.
These dogs are good. Yay! Thank you.
Where do you see it? Ah, These talks are good. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, this is our new forum member from India. Do you agree with us, Rio? You are working in India, yeah? And we were telling about my experience in Russia and Irina's experience in India. Yeah, because probably you're working in Indian company, yeah. So I hope we made it a little bit clearer, yeah, for you to understand how is working environment in India and how it is to work in Indian company, at least in Russia, and how it is to adjust to life in India. Yeah, what was Rina's experience there? Because of course everyone experience is different. So I would really like to thank Irina for sharing all this information. I think it was very useful, especially for the girls who are planning to move to India. And I know that a lot of foreigner girls are worried that what will we do there if we can find job. So what would you recommend if, for example, a girl is moving to India, she's getting married there, and she really wants to work? What would you recommend? Like where better to search for a job, any sites or just, I don't know, any other information useful?
I don't know. I think it's just don't stop trying. Explore the opportunities, keep applying for job openings, keep going for interviews, and I guess that's the only way. You gotta keep yourself moving and like searching for something and trying. So yeah, nobody is going to like call out to you and say, "Hey, Irina, we want you badly. Can you please join?"
Yeah, of course, I wish someone would do it here. I would start immediately.
If you just sit and do nothing, then no miracle is going to happen. You gotta do something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I think not everyone is ready to try actually. Maybe people are scared, yeah, because it's totally different culture, how it will work out for them. Because I'm surprised that not a very high percent of foreigner girls are working in India, especially the ones who get married there. Maybe the ones who come especially for work, yeah, of course, they are working there. But the ones who are getting married to Indians, they mostly they stay at home. Yeah, I think you probably noticed the same. You were one of a few.
I sometimes think that it's just because they married rich guys, so they don't really need to work.
That's a good point. Yeah, or maybe their husbands don't allow them to work. I think it's a very common thing, actually. You know, Eastern society, not all men would be happy that their women are working.
I don't know. So the my friends who are guys, or like not friends necessarily, but colleagues or just people I knew, men, I mean guys in particular, they were always kind of pushing their wives to work, which was very surprising for me. I'm like, come on, you are the guy, you are supposed to be the breadwinner. Why you are forcing your wife to go to office and things like that? So I sometimes felt like there is actually quite a high pressure on women to join the office, earn money, and contribute to the family budget.
Even from the rich families, or it was just middle class, or
Um, I cannot say much here because I don't know their true income. We were not so close.
Yeah, I understand. No, it's kind of surprising me because I hear from many foreigner girls that their husband would prefer that they stay at home, take care of kids, take care of household. They wouldn't like them to go to work. Yeah.
Lucky women.
So if you would get a chance, you would prefer to stay at home after you get married. Yeah.
I actually got my chance to stay at home. I was a housewife for 3 years.
Yes. For 3 years you didn't work. So what would you prefer? Yeah. Was it easy for you to stay at home, especially you worked all this time? Yeah.
So after a time I got tired of staying at home because I got tired, I got bored, and I felt like I need to, you know, build up some friends circle, learn something. Yeah, so I decided, and my son, he turned 3, so became more or less kind of self-sufficient, and you can keep him with the family, you know, and go out. So I decided to take the opportunity and just start something.
Yeah, I
Because
think, yes.
sometimes I feel like if you stay at home for too long, you get dumb.
I actually agree with you because it's not easy for women who are used to work. Yeah, maybe for someone who never worked in their life, yeah, it's kind of normal to stay at home. But it wasn't your case. I don't think you wanted to be dependent on your husband, yeah, and just stay at home all the time. And of course, you get bored when your child is little. Of course, he needs his mother a lot, yeah. But after some time, yeah, you need to grow. You need to grow professionally, and to be equal with your husband. Yeah, I think it's important. So I can
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just I'm a kind of a person who likes new experiences and learning new things. So just staying in the same house every day, I just got
See the
tired of
same
it. So
faces every day. Yeah, it's
yeah,
better to see your colleagues. Yeah, to enjoy nice talks, to enjoy like just to be out. Yeah, because if you sit at
yeah,
home all day long, think this situation. I'm also going crazy. I'm not so active for these 2 years. For the past 2 years, it's kind of strange. I think for everyone. And you need to go out, you need to meet people, you need to communicate, you need to develop your skills to learn something. Otherwise, yeah, indeed, you become dumb. That's true. I agree. Yeah, yeah. So I would like to thank everyone. Yeah, Irina, you would like to add something, especially
yeah.
for
Thank
the
you
girls
for
who are moving to India to their to to their love, yeah, and they're just worried too much, yeah, about all these things, especially about their careers, yeah, how it will work out, because you know, yeah, that it's not so easy to find a job, especially abroad. And at least many Russian girls, they don't even know enough English. You also probably.
Yeah, there is
So,
another problem, is that when we come to India as, let's say, whites, and we get the, what they call it, like kind of a sponsorship visa, right?
yes.
So you are actually not allowed to work on that. Maybe
Yeah, I
that's
think
another
you can't
reason.
work for 2 years, yeah, I think, or not. Or maybe I'm
You
wrong.
you have to either get the permanent residence permit, which allows you to work, or you have to get an employment visa. There is no other way.
Yeah, I think after you get OCI card, I think you can work in
Yeah.
2 years, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, so
No,
for
yeah,
2 years you have
as
to,
soon as, as
yes,
soon as you got OCI, you can work.
yes, yes, but they give it in 2 years, I think. You can't apply
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, you get married, then they give you uh what's that, X visa, entry visa, something like that for 2 years. And then only they grant you OCI.
Oh, okay. So for 2 years you have to be ready to stay at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everyone will survive that. No, but
I
at least you can work. Maybe you can teach or like some type of freelancer job, or it's also not possible.
I mean, you can, but legally, it's illegal, basically.
Ah, so
So
you can get
you,
fined. Yeah.
yeah, when you are on sponsorship visa, you cannot make any income. So you are totally on sponsorship of your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if I work
I
for example, if I work remotely on Russian company, is it also not possible?
no, that's not a problem.
Ah, okay. So I can do that. Okay. Just curious about knowing all these things. Okay, I'm not moving to India, but I think it would be very useful for the girls who might go there, who are living there, to know all these details for planning to move to India. Yeah, because it's totally different environment, totally different atmosphere, working rules, everything. So you have to be used to it. Yeah. That's
Exactly.
true. Yeah. So don't we have any more questions? Did you see something? I just see some. Okay, it depends on company. Так, I'm overworked, but my dad has strict time guidelines. I don't really see any questions.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
shall we call it a day?
Yeah, maybe if you have any more questions, guys, you can just add them as comments under this interview. I'm sorry for this. Some technical problems were there, but I will just combine this video and upload it on YouTube as well, so you can watch everything. And I really hope you enjoy it. I would really like to thank Irina for her time, for a lot of useful information. Yeah, because it's it's totally different experience she had. I'm very glad to hear that it's possible to work normally without too much stress, even in India. Yeah, because for me it wasn't the case. It was very nice that I would like
Thank you.
yeah, I would like to thank again everyone who joined us today. Yeah, and the ones who couldn't watch our interview, you can always watch on my account or on YouTube. Just subscribe, please feel free to join. And we are going to organize one more interview with Irina. Yeah, just we didn't decide when yet, but hopefully very soon. Yeah, on a very important topic. I will not announce it now, but believe me, it's a very important and serious topic, which I think might help a lot of women, especially women who are. Yeah, I will not tell now. Yeah, let's keep it as a secret. Yeah, so I'm very grateful, Irina, again. Thanks a lot for joining me today. Thanks a lot for interesting conversation. Yeah, and I hope to see you soon again.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you guys for watching. I was worried, so if I screwed it somewhere, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't something from your side. I don't know what was happening. Maybe I have some problem with internet connection, but at least we managed to talk. Yeah, it went fine. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you,
Oh,
guys. Yeah, take
cheers.
care. Have a nice day. Good evening for
Thank
Irina. Yeah, she's going probably to sleep soon because we have a very big time difference. Yeah, Russia is so huge. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Good night. Have a nice day to everyone. Yeah. See you
Bye-bye,
again.
guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.